Imagination is more important than knowledge. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The only source of knowledge is experience. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer somebody else up. In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. You never fail until you stop trying. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. I'm enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. We should take care not to make the intellect our god. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus I plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. One cannot help but be in awe when contemplating the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. Creativity is contagious. Pass it on. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. I am a deeply religious non-believer. This is a somewhat new kind of religion. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. I am thankful for a life full of mistakes, because without them I wouldn't know what not to do. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. Imagination is the highest form of research. This is new sentence. We still do not know 1,000% of what nature has revealed to us. I love to travel, but hate to arrive.